Hello, angels! Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Dr. Peter. I go by Dr. Disney here on YouTube, and today we're going to be reacting to Season 1, Episode 2 of Grey's Anatomy. I reacted to Episode 1 about 3 years ago as a real medical student. I'm the only doctor online who can say that I have a real medical student reacts and a real doctor reacts. And what makes this episode different from other reactions you've seen is not only am I a real doctor, but I am also a real actor. So in the last episode, I gave commentary about what it's like to film an episode like this, how actors deliver their lines, and certain things that the camera was doing, also discontinuity from the editing point of view. And we're gonna keep doing that today. A lot of you really enjoyed that episode. If you missed that first episode, it's right over here in the card, as well as reactions to The Good Doctor, House, Cells at Work, Doc McStuffins, Scrubs, which was actually really fun to do, and I actually got contacted by the producers of Scrubs for a cool little project. I also reacted to another episode of it with my vocal coach. If you haven't seen that out, we also do a lot of movie reactions here and song reactions. You can check that out also over here. And welcome to the family. If there's anything you would like us to react to specifically, or a specific episode, or your favorite moment, please write down below in the discussions. We love to read every single comment. And please check out the prescription box for more information about all the things we talked about, including our Discord, which is where we continue the chat after these episodes are over, polls and voting for movies coming up, and our live stream movie watch parties every week here on Wednesday as part of our We Disney Wednesdays. Okay, so enough talking, let's jump straight into it. So if all of that sounds interesting to you, please make sure to click the like button. It lets us know that you like the content and also puts it in front of other people so that they can join our family here on the internet, a little pocket of sunshine. And also subscribe so you can get notified. Make sure to click the bell so you get notified when we go live, because we have a really awesome time chatting with you all when we do our live streams. Here we go. Grey's Anatomy. Just as a recap, Grey's Anatomy is a triple meaning title because it's not only the name of the show, but it also is the name of the anatomy book that we used to study in medical school. And Grey's Anatomy, her name is Grey, and it's about, well, so far there was an interaction between her and her attending physician, so it's about her anatomy. Which also, the fourth meaning, I guess, is anatomy because she's a surgeon. So that's cool. Oh yeah, her mom.
What's your name? We're gonna survive this, right?
Y'all spoiled this for me.
Waiting in line for a chance at the operating table.
And if you're a student, you're the bottom of that line. Is that the Asian?
Friends.
Yeah, of course. She's so intense for no reason.
Drawing lines in the sand.
That's interesting. It's a co-ed locker.
Put down last, first, and
Totally a
deposit.
bribe. I can cook, and I'm an obsessive cleaner.
Why do they all want to room with her? This guy with his double takes.
I'm from New York. Genetically engineered to dislike everywhere, except Manhattan.
I'm from New York. We're not rude. We're just efficient.
I'm not dating you, and I'm definitely not sleeping with you again. You're my boss.
What? Girl, no. No.
Found down at the park, status post-trauma. She came in with a GCS of 6, BP 80/60.
Oh. So we talked about this, I don't even remember which episode of the reactions we talked about this, but a GCS is the Glasgow Coma Scale, Coma Score, scored on a scale of 3 through 15. 3 is essentially, you get a score of 1 for everything. It's eye movement, motor skills, and verbal response. And if you can do all those spontaneously of your own volition, you get a 15. If you can't do any of them, you get a 3. And an 8 is really dangerous, and you need to be intubated, which means we need to put a tube down your throat and we have to oxygenate your lungs, breathe for you. And she has a blood pressure of 80/60, which is hypotensive, which means she can't get enough blood to her vital organs, her brain. So this woman she's in extremely critical condition.
Exam is significant for blood head trauma. Waiting for
Yikes.
breath sounds, right pupil is dilated, and she's ready for x-ray.
Yikes. Right pupil dilated could be a sign of brain herniation when she also has head trauma. So if there is a buildup of blood in the brain, we talked about this again, I don't remember which episode of this, but we learned that the skull is like a box, and inside you have cerebral spinal fluid, which is the fluid that coats the brain. You have blood flow and vessels, and you have the brain tissue. And if any one of those gets out of whack, accumulates, or just grows in its volume, you increase the pressure inside that space, and you can't really get outside of the box. So I assume here with the blunt head trauma that she's bleeding, and that is increasing the amount of blood inside the cranium, inside the closed box, which is causing a shift in other stuff. So it usually shifts the brain tissue down, and that compresses the cranial nerve 3, which is the ocular motor nerve, and that causes the eye to dilate during parasympathetic innervation.
Yeah.
Gloves? Gloves?
Call ahead to clear
Gloves?
safety. Let them know I'm coming.
Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the rest of the episode, but just from a film point of view, they highlighted the shoes several times, the leopard print or brown spotted shoes. So I think that might come into play. It's an editing technique. They say you're supposed to show your audience something 3 times. I think we've seen it at least twice. For me, just quickly watching that scene, it's the one thing that stood out to me about her character.
We have a warrior among us, huh?
Allison.
Good for you!
Her name is Allison.
I'm going to pause it right there because that's something I am very passionate about treating people with conditions, not conditions with names. It's quite bothersome to me when rounds are happening, which is when you're just discussing the patients early in the morning as a team, that some people elect to say things like the liver patient or the cancer patient or the asthma patient instead of saying Allison. What is that? What is this?
Does anyone know what this is?
Why are you blocking it? Ooh, good editing.
She bit it off.
Bit off what?
That's
His finger.
penis. She bit off his penis.
What?
Glass half full.
Bambi, don't say another word till after the hunter shoots your mother.
Sandra, oh my gosh! I was gonna say he's so dorky, and she just took the words right out of her mouth. I always wonder, do you need clearance before you can reference something like that, or is it copywritten? I never know what the limits are with referencing another intellectual property. Okay, so let me just explain something really briefly about a code. It's sometimes you get a pager, sometimes it's over the loudspeaker. And one time we were talking with our attending about our list of patients, and then someone runs into the door and says, "Did you all not hear the code?" We're like, "What code?" And they're like, "Your beeper should be going." We're like, "They're not." They said, "There's a code." So we all run out, and 12 of us are running down the stairs of this hospital to this code. And we finally get there, and in the stairs, I'm thinking, okay, compressions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's actually staying alive, huh? And it's actually arms locked. And we finally get there, and I'm like, okay, am I going to go first? Or am I going to go second? What's the order? We finally show up, and all these people are standing outside the room. I'm like, okay, it's a big code. Everyone's here. And they just look at us and say, "Oh, are you here for the code?" We're like, yeah, where is it? Which patient? They're just like, "Oh, it's no patient." And we're like, excuse you? And they said, "Oh, we're just testing the pagers. We're just testing the pagers." So what if one of us tripped down the stairs in the rush of it all, right? Who's responsible?
Does anybody here speak Chinese?
The translator line. Every hospital should have a phone number that you could call with a translator. Should is the key word.
So she'd better take it with her.
What?
You have to take it with you.
Until the cops come for her.
I love how it's just she was roped into it, and then she's just trying to do her job, and then everyone's like, "Oh no, you didn't know? We were testing the pagers." I feel you, Gray. I feel you.
Okay. Yeah. Allison's shoes are...
What?
Oh, the shoes.
The rape victim, Allison, her shoes. I have the same ones. And she was wearing the same shoes.
Whoa, it's trippy.
You know what you need?
Mocha latte.
No. It's sick and twisted. We said last time was the last time. You've been doing it without me?
What do they do? Oh, are they doing drugs? Baby! Oh, they're not doing drugs, they're doing babies.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, he's so great. Big fan of him. That's me. Oh, babies! They're so adorable! Oh, is she gonna be... Oh, the cyanotic baby. It's blue, he's not breathing. Wait, is that what they were showing us? That baby was blue, or this color correction wasn't helping.
He turned blue.
Okay, he was blue.
I'm a doctor too, you know. You should get out of here.
No one is rude like that, especially not in peds. They better not be. You're dealing with babies.
I wouldn't have called you, but I can't get hold of the translator. Can you just ask her what's wrong?
I'm Korean.
The only Chinese I know is from Mr. Chow's menu.
Besides, I'm Korean.
I knew it! Okay. Whew.
Chief of surgery is mine. It was yours. Now I'm not so sure. I am the best surgeon at Grace with the lowest mortality rate. You can't just bring some guy. Ask me why I'm not so sure about you.
Whoa, drama.
Ask me what?
Why?
OB nurse to labor and delivery.
Oh! I would like to know.
Your Doppler was negative.
For deep venous thrombosis, so there's no need for chronic
Coagulation or an IVC failure.
Your biopsy was, however,
Oh my gosh, so much jargon.
Your BUN and creatinine elevations had us worried.
about rapidly progressive glomeruloma.
Oh my gosh. Creatinine is so commonplace in medical terminology and medical rounds, but it really blows my mind when doctors and medical students say it to the patient. It's a function, it is an identifier of kidney function. But what patient knows that? And I see patients look quizzical, but they're not gonna ask. It's kind of like when you go to fix your car at the mechanic. I go there and then they say things like, oh, your transistor is not working. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. I knew that. Because no one wants to look foolish. So no one asks, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can we just stop saying creatinine? Or if you hear creatinine, now you know it's a marker of your kidney function. So if they say your creatinine's good, your kidneys are good. Why does he get all the intense story beats?
Did P's call us for a consult?
Actually, no, they're not doing anything
So you want
about
me
it.
to what?
If you could just go up and look at it.
Not without a P's consult. I'm a busy man, Gray, and there are rules.
Interesting. This is just the division between acting and reality, and an actor's work and the real life. An actor, when they see the script, is going to say, without a PEDS, C-O-N-S-U-L-T. And in reality, we say consult, a PEDS consult. But he probably, when reading it, didn't have guidance over just how to say that one word. It's not a PEDS consult, because you do say consult, like consultant. But it's not a PEDS consult, it's a PEDS consult. Showing me that he is an actor. And not really. It takes me out just a little bit. Those little things, probably to an average audience member, wouldn't stand out. But to me, it's a bit like, oh, wait, what?
Please sit down. I really need to look at your arm.
How is there no translator? Use Google Translate. With a guy? Oh my gosh. This is too intense. This is way too intense. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is way too intense. For a TV show? Who writes this? Ask me why.
Why?
And arrogant, and it doesn't impress me. You want to be chief? Earn it.
That's a real conversation that could happen. Enough of the whole super dramatic alpha male stuff. That was real. Oh my gosh, what is she saying? Did they ever tell us? I hope so. Oh, the baby! Please tell me the baby's okay. Oh, okay. Whew.
He's my patient now. That okay with you, Dr. K?
He's an attending.
Which means I can do whatever I want.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. He's probably gonna have to ask. I don't know. Okay, maybe in this hospital, it really just depends on how the interdepartmental dynamics are. I would assume that he would have to talk to the peds attending at least to figure it out. It seemed like those two were residents. Maybe one was the intern, the peds intern, one was the peds senior resident. But they definitely would have to talk to an attending before someone could just transfer patient jurisdiction. I don't know if surgery would take on a peds case. I get why he's doing it because he wants to be more proactive.
Dr. Burke, head of cardio. We're gonna run some tests.
Head of cardio? What? He's not.
Hello?
What? 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 How did that was right in the parking lot? They don't have security? What?
She green card. Me, no.
Oh.
You're illegal. That's okay. We don't have to tell them that. I just need to get you inside. Please, come inside. Okay. Not inside.
Oh my gosh,
I'll
this
come
is
back.
so
I'll be
intense. Oh my lord. That was a very good scene. Very good scene. I like that they put the commercial break in the middle to help it hang. The suspense around that scene was great, and they kind of let it up a little bit by saying that she spoke English, but it was just so they could communicate the green card aspect. I speak English, and I'm a doctor, and I can acknowledge that healthcare is so confusing. Medical insurance, it all is a huge mess. I can't imagine what it's like if you're not from this country, if you're not documented, if you don't speak English. It is a huge nightmare.
Well?
It's a birth defect. Tetralogy of Fallot.
Tetralogy of Fallot, I was about to say that. Tetralogy of Fallot has four primary signs. P is pulmonary, R is something, O is overriding aorta, and V is ventricular septal defect. And those four things cause there to be an incorrect blood flow in the heart to the lungs. The left ventricle pumps blood to the body, and the right ventricle pumps blood to the lungs to get reoxygenated. But because of the pulmonary hypertension of the pulmonary artery, the blood can't really escape out of the right ventricle to the lungs, so you can't really oxygenate as much blood, and so the baby becomes blue because they are deoxygenated, which is blueness due to deoxygenation is called cyanosis.
I will make your residency here hell on earth.
Good job? None of that. I like that she still feels happy about it. Now let's get back to these shoes. Interesting that they're all in service all the time together. There's no rotation. I bet you she reminds him of someone too. That's why he's so invested.
I think you're cocky, arrogant, bossy, and pushy. You also have a God complex. But what? I still have 22 more seconds. I'm not done.
Oh, she's good.
You know I have 4 sisters.
Knew it.
Girly, tons of kids. If I was in a coma, they'd all be here.
There's this baby up in the nursery. He's brand new. No one's neglected him or damaged him yet. How do we get from there to here?
Oof. That's a great question. I took one of the most intriguing and fascinating classes in college at NYU under the child mental health minor. It was called Looking Back on Growing Up. And it was about how we're all born these little meat burritos as babies, and we all look very similar. And how does life put us on different trajectories to become these different people? So that's exactly what this question is. How do we get from there to here?
ICP's double, get OR!
ICP is intracranial pressure. That's what we talked about. So something went up. Either she's starting to bleed again inside, or probably that.
Hey, for a craniotomy.
Oh my gosh. Why are we still doing stuff? It's the end of the episode. No.
I had to leave her skull flap off until the pressure in her brain goes down.
Oh. Oh, great shot of the sunrise.
You want to get that drink we talked about?
You're not the enemy. You're just the competition.
That's like some high school scripting, but okay.
Here.
It just says that the
Penis.
Penis.
Look, I'm a doctor. I mean, it shouldn't be weird to say this.
That's not. Penis.
Don't make me change my mind.
I'm going.
Ooh, she gets to scrub in! Very cool! You always have to scrub in with your hands up. Like you're praising Jesus. She gets to end both of them in surgeries, both episodes. Is she the main character or something?
You can move into the house.
Yes! I can't believe it!
Thank you.
Oh, they're gonna be roommates! I completely forgot about that story.
I blame the babies.
Uh.
They make you toxic.
No, they're the best! And she's wearing her shoes! Told you!
I'm so taking the stairs this time.
That's charming, not gonna lie. She looks so good!
Is spectacular.
Are they only filming episodes on their 28-hour calls? Or their 36-hour calls? Music choice is great too. Okay. Okay, so that was... wow, what a good episode. So thank you so much for watching. Now we're going to discuss this episode as we do at the end of all of our reactions here. It's so fascinating that I really enjoyed watching the first episode many years ago, and then I was like, oh, I'll get to it, and then after 3 years, I can still feel why this show is so popular, and I'm enjoying it. I genuinely am. The thing that really is a highlight for the show is the scripting, and I realized it at the very end when it tied in the point about the roommates. That is really expert because it gives you a huge payout for paying attention to things. Things like the shoe, paying attention to the woman, the tracking of the penis throughout the whole hospital. And then also the character development of even Alex hugging a patient at the very end. So it does reward you for paying attention, which I really enjoy in a show. One of the things I've said before here on the channel when I reacted to Cells at Work is the best TV show I've ever watched is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's an anime because after 5 seasons, from the very first episode to the very last episode, it was every single plot point was completely closed, and I felt so rewarded for having paid attention for 5 seasons versus the last Star Wars movie that just came out. It ends with more questions, and I don't really like that. So this show is progressing each character forward while giving you some plot developments, even though it's only episode 2. Very smartly written that way. So thank you all so much for watching today. What was your favorite moment? What else should we react to here on the channel? And as always, be safe, be strong, be swag. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Get vaccinated. Bye.